Today I'm going to be biking around beautiful Keuka Lake in New York State. Keuka Lake is one of the Finger Lakes, one of 11 Finger Lakes formed over 2 million years ago during one of the ice ages. The great thing about riding around Keuka Lake, unlike some of the other Finger Lakes, you're near the lake most of the time. The road is near the lake and it's probably the most beautiful lake. It's a 44-mile round trip. In my opinion, the best place to start is right here at Depot Park in Hammondsport, and you start and finish here, and it's a beautiful day. It's about 7:30 in the morning, already later than I want it to be, but you might be able to see the sun's pretty high in the sky already. There's some swimmers back there, some locals swimming, and I'm going to get started. So the important thing to do, in my opinion, when you're riding around Keuka Lake is to make sure you go clockwise, regardless of where you start from. You want to go clockwise. That way you're on the lake side of the road, get better views. Right now I'm on Route 54A, heading north on the west side of the lake. And as you can see, the views are spectacular. The sun's pretty high in the sky right now. So Route 54A has a decent shoulder. The speed limit's only 35 and there's not a lot of traffic because unless you live on this road or have a cottage on this road, you're probably not going to be on this road. When we get to the other side of the lake, which is main Route 54, which we're going to stay off of as much as possible. That's a main thoroughfare. Cars are going to be going 60 miles per hour. There is a big wide shoulder, but the trick is to get down onto East Lake Road, which is basically where all the rich people live. They've got their $1 million mansions on the lake, and it's a beautiful 20 mile per hour community that goes for miles and miles, and it's just so delightful. There's nothing there but people walking their dogs and walking their kids and riding their bikes and going for a jog. It's beautiful. Just climbed a little hill there and then had a nice little downhill to rest up and gather myself. And of course the rollers are fun and invigorating early in the ride. It's in the second half of the ride when we're on East Lake Road, depending on your fitness, where they'll sometimes start to wear on you. Still on Route 54A, making our way up to Branchport. Branchport's about the 14-mile mark of the ride, and we'll take a little break there because somebody was so excited about this ride they failed to eat a good breakfast. And right after Branchport is the biggest climb of the ride. So it's a good spot to rest if you feel like you need a rest. So Keuka Lake, if you don't know, it's one of the 11 Finger Lakes, and unlike the other 10 Finger Lakes, it's shaped like a Y. The other 10 Finger Lakes are long and slender, shaped like fingers. They call Keuka Lake the thumb. Some people call it the thumb. It's not shaped like a thumb, it's shaped like a Y, so I don't know where they get thumb from. Some people call it the Crooked Lake. There's a Crooked Lake ice cream parlor in Hammondsport that is a frequent stopping off place. Good morning. Good morning. It's a frequent stopping off place for riders when they're finished with the run. You really have to ride. I'm a runner by heart, so I keep saying run, but you have to do two things after you ride around Keuka Lake. You have to stop at the Crooked Lake ice cream shop for some delicious homemade ice cream, and you have to jump in the lake. The lake at Depot Park is so delightful. So we're nearing the end of our time on 54A. We're in Branchport, which I don't know what Branchport is. It's a town, I guess, but to me it's nothing more than a blinking red light. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but we're going to take a right-hand turn at the blinking red light. I'm going to stop at a pavilion, have a snack, and then there's a big climb with a beautiful view at the top that I'll show you. And then it's a 2 or 3 mile descent into Penn Yan. we're off 54A, and as you can tell, this road's a little bit more serious traffic. They're whizzing by. I am at the beginning of the hill I've been warning you about, and I'm not going to be able to hold this camera and switch gears. And I'm an old man, so I need to use all my strength to get up the hill. I might not be able to do it one-handed. Yeah, I made it to the top of the hill. It wasn't that bad. It's about 1/3 of a mile, and I'm not good at judging grades. It was maybe 8% grade, and I stayed on the big chain ring the whole way. It's a little hazy today, so the view out there is not as great as usual, but I'm really impressed at how easily I got up that hill. Pretty good for an old guy. I kept the chain on the big ring all the way up, and I got a gravel bike now, so it's not the same as a road bike, but it's not bad. Don't skip out on this ride because of that hill. And so the next, I don't know, 4 or 5 miles are going to be on that main big road that I was just on before the hill. Traffic going way too fast, but the shoulder's huge. It's a good 10-foot shoulder. I'm at the top of the climb, so it's a lot of downhill until I get into Penn Yan, and then a few miles after that, like I said earlier, it's beautiful riding on East Lake Road. The other thing I forgot, other than eating breakfast this morning, is I forgot to put sunscreen on. I also forgot to pack sunscreen. It's like, damn, the older I get, the dumber I get. Oh well, I'll try to do this. But anyway, so I'm still on this road to Penn Yan, and as you can see, it's a nice wide shoulder, so no fears. I'm in Penn Yan now. As you can see, the road's not as generous as it once was to bikers, but it's not bad, and it's a short section. The speed limit's 30 miles per hour, so I feel safe. We're going to make a right-hand turn at this light, and this marks the halfway mark, and most of the next 22 miles are on East Lake Road. Here's another really nice section on East Lake Road. So beautiful. I can hear kids playing. Good morning. Just everybody's in their happy place. Such a joyful road. There's an apple tree. I don't know how much these houses cost. Some of them are millions. Morning. I haven't really shown you any of the super expensive homes that are on this road. But they are definitely out here. Millions of dollars. More beautiful water. If you don't do this ride, if you live here, anywhere in New York State really, it's central New York, so you can get here in a couple hours from any part of New York State, and no excuse to not do this ride. Morning. So now I'm on my third section of East Lake Road, and the thing that you want to be mindful of when you're on Route 54 and looking for the next section of 54, you're going to see other roads like Crystal Beach Road and Brenner Road. You don't want to take those. They're dead ends. Only take East Lake Road. Now, as you get further south on the east side of the lake, you're going to see some South Lake roads. I think there's 2 sections of South Lake Road. You want to take them. Those are just as delightful as East Lake Road. So enjoy those. I think when you come out of the last section of South Lake Road onto 54, it's all downhill pretty much until the traffic light, where you're going to take a right-hand turn, which is just a mile back to Hammondsport and Depot Park, where you can go for a swim. I'm on South Lake Road now, and the nice thing about South Lake Road, a little change of pace, a lot more trees and a lot less houses. So I'm getting near the end. Sometimes through the trees and the leaves I can see Hammondsport off in the distance. I don't know, 5 more miles. And remember all those little rollers that I told you about earlier? Yeah, I'm starting to feel it. And that's it. 44.1 miles according to my phone, all the way around the lake. It took me about 3.5 hours or so, and that's with a couple stops. And at one point, not too many seconds ago in this video, I said I was about maybe 5 miles away. It turned out I was about 2.5 miles away, so that was nice. And so when you get to South Lake Road, it's about 3 miles to the finish. I don't know what else to say. Come on out, Keuka Lake, start in Hammondsport, get some ice cream. I am going to change into my running shorts and jump in that lake behind me.